Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Take 31. This has been our longest shoot ever. This has been the longest shoot ever. So I want to say first, thanks for having patience with us, man.
Hey,
we're learning and I'm really enjoying the process. I appreciate you guys for sticking with us through this process. And without making this video too long, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my shirt. Excuse me, just come on, Joe, I'm showing my shirt, man. Okay, you can stay. I'm a frontline worker. Tell him put my money in this new stimulus bill. I got this from my job. Jermaine also has a pretty cool shirt on. You want to show him that?
Yeah, moisture wicking,
Oh,
it's hot here in Sacramento.
Yeah, it's starting to get hot in here in this house, man. I turned the fan off to cut back some of the background noise. So, like I said, I fear making this video too long, so I'm gonna get right into it. But remember, if this is your first time here, if it's your second time here, you also might not be subscribing, liking the video, and you might not be commenting down below. So please like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and if you're feeling extra special, hit the share on the video. I appreciate it. So, Coach, I'm gonna let you give them a little backstory on how it is we met.
Okay, yeah. So, well, my son loves to play basketball, just like your son loved to play basketball, right? Yeah. And so he was in those little small leagues, like the YMCA or the local rec leagues, and he started to get really, really good at what he was doing. So we're like, okay, we need to really step up his game. So that's why we had switched leagues, and I met Coach D. So when I went there, I saw Coach D. I was just like, okay, he already looks like he knows what he's doing, right? I mean, I'm gonna give you some credit, right? He looked like he knows what he's doing. So I took my son there. I was like, hey, you got to take this practice very, very seriously. And so when we had got there, I went up to Coach D. I was like, hey, how you doing, Jermaine? It's my son Jordan. And then we got to talking, and I was like, I have a great feeling about this. And so Coach D was like, the first thing he had said is, he's like, I don't like to take it too easy on the kids. I don't like to sugarcoat stuff. And right then and there, I was just like, okay, you're going to stay on this team.
No.
Right? You're going to stay on this team. I want my child to do well. So after that, I was like, it was all good.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, he's going to be on this team forever. I actually got a good coach, that's willing to take, the consideration to help out the children.
No, listen, so I do appreciate that. For me, doing this coaching thing, it has been an amazing experience. Not only because I get to work with kids, but also because it's allowed me to come in contact with great people such as yourself and Coach Jay and just other people with an entrepreneurial and financial freedom mindset. So since I've been coaching, I would say I've been coaching my son's team personally for about 3 years now. I would say we've known each other for maybe
2.5.
Two and a half. Okay. And through that time, just like Coach Jay, it's been organic. I've been able to really build a personal relationship with Coach Jermaine here. And today, I'm going to have Coach, I want to call him Coach Jay, but I'm going to have Coach Jermaine give us a little insight about what it is he do and how that can help lead to financial freedom. So if you don't mind, Jermaine, maybe you can give us a little bit, a quick synopsis of what it is you do.
For sure. So I actually own my own financial services and life insurance practice, right? Nice. So it was definitely a tough few years, just like starting any kind of business. But I had a lot of help and support, especially from my family and some of the different companies that I work with. So exactly what I do, right, is obviously I do the life insurance. Life insurance is super huge to me and very, very important because at the end of the day, people get a bad stigma about life insurance. It's like, hey, I don't want to get life insurance, I might die. I'm like, of course you're going to die, everybody dies.
Yeah.
Right? Not to be insensitive about it, but life insurance is more than just a death benefit to make sure burial expenses are taken care of. It's more also like building a legacy.
True.
Because at the end of the day is you get the burial expenses out of the way. You don't want to have to do a GoFundMe. And mind you, GoFundMe will tax you on the on the income. Any donation you're going to get taxed on. And life insurance benefits are tax free. So having that said is the life insurance is supposed to take care of the burial expenses on top of leave a legacy, because as adults, especially if we have children, debts, and mortgage, life insurance is supposed to leave what we were supposed to do for the next 20 years.
That's a fact.
Right? So at the end of the day is, if you have life insurance, you know that your family is going to be taken care of if something happens to you. On top of something that I find very near and dear to my heart is helping people with tax-free assets in retirement.
Okay. So to touch on that, right? So you're saying tax-free, business owner, a lot of stuff. You just do a lot of stuff out there, right? So not to be a micromanager, right? But I'm hoping we can go in depth into a couple of those things, because when I think about, the logo, I think primarily about life insurance. And so what I heard you say, now backstory, obviously I know a little bit about Coach Jermaine. So obviously, like I said, I know a little bit about Coach Jermaine, but not everybody knows this. So when he told me some of the stuff that it is he offers and that his company provides, I was a little taken aback, because I was unaware of all the opportunities that were available through his business. So when you say life legacy and tax-free assets, or some kind of tax avoidance on some level, can you give me a little bit of an example?
Most definitely. So a lot of times, if you don't either work for like the fire department, the police department, or the military, a lot of people don't have pensions anymore. So pensions are pretty much, you work so long and then they're going to pay you out for the rest of your life. But now people are so heavily reliant on 401ks, right? 401ks are a great tool. I have one myself.
Yeah.
But the thing with 401ks is you have to end up paying your taxes as soon as you pull it out. You have a 401k, so you know.
I know.
So all this money, we're working so hard, putting all this money into this vehicle, and then when we retire, depending on when you retire, 60, 65, or whatever, you're going to owe money on those taxes. Those taxes you're going to owe money on. What I do is I help my clients not necessarily spend more money, but just reposition the money that they're spending.
To avoid taxes?
To help avoid taxes.
Okay.
Right?
See, now we're getting somewhere. So when you say avoid taxes, whatever, or vehicles to avoid taxes, because I like to talk about taxes. I know it's a taboo, or people just despise it. I despise paying taxes. Y'all know this is a financial channel for the most part so far. I do everything I can to avoid interest on credit cards.
Which I like those videos. I'm like, I'm sharing this one.
I appreciate all the love and support. Hey, see how I'm gonna need to. So if you haven't already, y'all know we took a quick pause. We had to reset. But if you haven't already, hit that like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. So we were getting into avoiding taxes, avoiding interest on credit cards. So you were just saying vehicles and assets, right? So for disclosure, I'm gonna let you guys know I was able to acquire life insurance for my wife through Coach Jermaine. Now, me and my wife already have life insurance policies, but this isn't a sponsored video. You are not paying me to be on the channel, right?
We have a friendly conversation amongst friends.
Okay. And more than anything, just like I want to help people, Coach Jermaine also wants to help people.
Yes.
So I want to say that first, but I also really want to go, a little bit deeper into not only the life insurance, but what are some of the vehicles that you speak of when you talk about avoiding taxes?
So the main vehicle, one of the main vehicles is a Roth option.
Okay.
Right? So we all have 401ks, IRAs. Pretty much a 401k is a sponsored retirement plan from your job.
Okay.
Right? But you have also what's called a Roth option. The Roth option is pretty much helps you pay your taxes now. Right? So at the end of the day, the biggest example I like to give is, let's just say we're farmers, right?
Yeah.
I'm an apple seed farmer and you grow the apples.
Okay.
I come to you and say, hey, Coach D, I got 100 apple seeds. And you could pay taxes on your 100 apple seeds right now, or you could pay taxes on the 100,000 apples that it grows. What would you rather pay your taxes?
No.
Exactly, right?
Because that's more apples later.
Yeah,
right?
you have more apples later. So right now, because of the way the taxes are, is we're actually in a low historic tax environment. So the whole reason why 401k was created, so we could defer taxes just to pay them when they're lower. Because in 1970, like with the highest tax bracket was 70%. So imagine you put $100 in and you take $100 out, but they're like, no, we're only going to give you $30 because we're taxing you 70%. How would that make you feel? That would make me feel horrible, right?
Yeah, no,
so Congress got together and said, hey, how are we going to help people defer their taxes away to pay them when they're lower? Perfect example, the 401k. All these people that put in their money into the 401k got to defer their taxes for now.
Yeah.
But me and you know, we're young. You're about 27 and I'm 30, right?
I like it.
Okay, no, I'm just playing. You know, we're in our mid-30s.
Yeah.
20 years from now, 25 years from now, taxes are going to go back up.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee that, but it's going to go up.
Pause, Coach. I can guarantee it. With this pandemic, with all this stimulus money that's been given out, at some point in time, we're going to have to pay it back. And it's going to be the working class. It's not going to be big businesses, big corporations. And I'm not getting political. I just want to speak the facts. So that's why I agree with you. And you just have natural inflation. So our money in the future is going to be more valuable than the money today. So it's better to pay taxes today than in the future. You know, so I'll let you get back into what it was you were saying.
Okay. So, so the 401k, you defer your taxes to pay them. You know, the people that are retiring now are benefiting, right? But so now, because we're anticipating those high taxes, is people are doing Roth options. So Roth options is just pretty much a fancier name to say, hey, we're going to let you pay your taxes now.
Okay.
Right? So when you retire, you get that money tax-free. It gets to grow in that retirement account, you know, compound interest, you know, inflation, whatever. And on top of, you know, you still have to deal with the market up and downs.
Yeah, of course. Are you ready? So with that being said, Coach, you were saying you have to deal with the fluctuations of the market up and down, right? But do I still avoid the taxes in the future?
Yes, you definitely avoid the taxes in the future with the Roth option.
Nice.
Right? But having that said there's also a way to avoid taxes, but make sure that you have guaranteed growth too.
Is that because the guaranteed growth is because your money is in the market?
No.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't realize that with life insurance, it's more than just death benefit.
Okay.
There's a living benefit to it.
Okay.
So imagine, let's say for instance, your car insurance, right? Your car insurance, right? You pay your car insurance, let's say, there's Geico, right?
Yeah.
You pay your car insurance. So, okay, yeah, whoever, yeah. So let's say you're paying your car insurance for 20 plus years. And after that 20 plus years, your car insurance company comes to you and says, hey, Darnell, you know, we really appreciate the fact that you were paying your car insurance on time. We're going to give you all your money back. Plus, we're going to up your coverage amount. How would that make you feel?
Amazing. That doesn't happen.
Exactly. It doesn't happen. But it does happen with certain life insurance companies. It's called permanent life insurance. Permanent life insurance is a benefit where the death benefit continuously grows. So let's just say you started off with something small, $100,000 or $50,000. As you keep paying for it, the death benefit systematically keeps on growing as long as you keep up with your premium. And then if you pay into it long enough, you get to reap all this cash value, they call it, 100% tax-free.
Okay, hold on. So you saying, because now I know myself personally, there's term, right? And then there's whole life, right? So the whole life is where I'll be able to get some money back.
Yes. With
term, that's for a certain period of time, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, and now, just for clarity for people that don't understand, when you buy a term policy, that's for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. What's the max on the term?
Some companies do a 30. Some companies do 30, yeah.
So at the max, you will be looking at 30 years. So that means your premium, meaning how much you would pay on a monthly basis or an annual basis, is going to remain the same for the life of that contract. But if I'm correct, maybe you can help me understand this a little bit better. But when you have term, you can't pull money out of it. Term, it doesn't have a cash value, but you can transfer it over to the whole life side and then start to reap the benefits of getting cash value. Is that correct?
You're absolutely right. Majority of insurance companies will allow you to transfer your term insurance into permanent or / whole life.
Yeah.
Right. Some oftentimes, some companies won't though.
That's fine. Your company does. You said some companies won't, but your company does.
Mm-hmm.
Now, pause. I know I just sounded a little bit educated about that whole term life and whole life. Mm-hmm. I learned that from him.
I was like, why am I here to hear
it? No. I learned, and it's not for me because I listen when people speak because I don't know everything, right? And I'm all about financial literacy. So when I did have the opportunity to learn from you, I definitely made sure I took full advantage of it because I'm not going to always have you available. And when I speak to my family and my friends, I want to make sure I'm passing off, or my viewers, I want to make sure I'm passing off accurate information. So with that being said, okay, so you said we have the Roth IRA, right? Can you give me another example? So we spoke about the Roth IRA. We just spoke about the difference between term and whole life.
Yes.
Now we know your business allows you to transfer the term into whole life.
Yes.
Now I want you to talk about some other options, but I also know something about, and we could touch on this in a little bit. But I know there was something about you telling me about your company paying like a dividend or something.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So but maybe that's not for right now. Maybe 5 or 10 minutes we can get into that. But can you tell me another way that your company provides assets or will help lead to financial freedom?
Yes. So all of the process we actually take our clients through, it's not transactional. Like a lot of times people think when you're purchasing insurance or any kind of financial vehicle. So another vehicle that is a tax-free vehicle is called a municipal bond. It's super, super safe, but you don't necessarily get a whole lot of interest, but it's super safe. So imagine like a municipal bond. Like let's just say Rancho Cordova had to build a bridge from here to, I don't know, San Francisco. So what the city of Rancho Cordova is going to do is to say, hey, citizens of Rancho Cordova, like, hey, we're going to need to build this bridge. So can we borrow some money from y'all? Okay. But if we borrow some money from y'all, we're going to give you 2%, and it's going to last for about 10 to 20 years is how long the bond's going to last.
Listen. Not to cut you off, I don't know if the 1 or 2% is accurate, but I know if you keep your money in a bank account, they're paying you 0.01%. Okay, on any money you keep in there. So the interest that you earning at your bank is 0.01%. If you can get 1% right now, because even my online high interest savings account has dropped down to 0.8% interest, right? So anytime you can get more interest on your money than you would get at your personal bank, I would say it's a great investment.
You're absolutely right. Mind you, like I said, you'd have to check out to see if municipal bonds are at 1 or 2%. But historically, you have those small returns, but they're guaranteed, super guaranteed. They're very, very safe. They just take a very, very, very long time to get your money back, but it's tax free.
So, tax free is always the key, right? So that was the third option. So we had whole life term, Roth, municipal bonds. Can we get a little bit into that dividend that you were talking about? Dividends.
So dividends with certain policies, like when you trade in the stock market, you do well, they give you a dividend. Okay. But with some permanent insurance policies, depending on what kind of company you work with, you get what's a tax-free dividend. So these permanent insurance policies, depending on who you get them from, if the company does well, they put a dividend back into the policy. So imagine you're getting a guaranteed rate of return from this permanent insurance policy. On top of, they're going to give you a tax-free dividend if the company does well at the end of the year.
So for all of you that don't know, like he said, a dividend is no different than the stock market. If you buy one share of A&T, AT&T, the phone company, if you buy their stock, I think they're the highest, right? So I like to just give examples of the best. That's why I have you here, because I believe what you offer is top of the line. It's the best. AT&T offers a 6 to 7% dividend, which means that's really good.
That's solid,
right? But what they don't tell you is it's a possibility to have a dividend freeze with any dividend stock, right? Mm-hmm. And what Coach Jermaine has told me is that, I don't know, 50 years, 75 years or something like that, you guys have not had a dividend freeze, meaning you've paid your shareholders or the people that are invested in your company a dividend every single year, regardless of win, lose, or draw. That dividend has been paid. So if you want like guaranteed money, no worry about dividend freezes or anything like that, I would definitely say, that's the way to go.
So yeah, just to be 100% like forthcoming,
Yeah.
dividends are not guaranteed. Like no, right?
I agree.
But some of the companies that I work with, especially the one company I would choose to partner with when I first started, they've been paying their dividends for 167 years consecutively.
I knew it was something crazy.
Yeah, it was coming crazy, and it's just like, that's why
fine print. Nothing is guaranteed. They could always have a dividend freeze. Mm-hmm. He has to say that.
Yes.
I agree. Nothing is guaranteed.
But it's kind of hard to say the company that I partner with won't pay one now because they've been doing it for 167 years.
Exactly. And that's all I'm saying.
Not to mention during the first pandemic as well.
So, and that's really all I wanted to get to is when you have 167 years, over 100 years of doing something, the likelihood is much better than not that you're gonna have continued success. Now we covered the ways to make tax-free money, the ways that you can attain life insurance. And before we go forward, can you just give out your information for people?
Yes. So I'm pretty old school. Give me a call, straight direct call, 925-848-5220. Hit me up, leave a voicemail. I will return your call pretty promptly.
So if you haven't already, hit that like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. Like, comment, subscribe. Okay, I appreciate it.
Hit the bell. Bing.
I appreciate it.
Hit the bell.
Listen, I appreciate
I
you
can
so
hit the
much,
bell.
Man. Yeah.
Because I didn't do that the first time.
No,
I didn't do that the first time. I didn't hit the bell. So, like you said in the earlier comments, it's just your second time. Make sure you hit the bell.
Listen, the thing I like about this friendship is, like I said, number one, I gotta say it again. This is not a paid advertisement. I actually asked him to be on the channel. Because number one, I'm about financial freedom. That's the whole thing about this channel, and just financial education in general. And with what he's been able to provide me as far as life insurance and just education about life insurance and all the options to have tax-free money, it's been such a great opportunity that I was like, hey, can you come on the channel and share that with my audience? So
thank you. I appreciate that.
No, it's love.
My first 15 minutes of fame right here.
Yo, you're hilarious. You paused. So, listen, as I keep telling y'all, we working on the edits. We took a quick pause, as you can tell, because I wanted to refocus. Like I said, we went over all the financial aspects of it, but what I want to do now is talk to Coach Jermaine and find out how do the average person get involved with his business. So, Coach,
yes.
Is it like easy, mediocre, or intermediate, or very difficult to get involved with what it is you do?
Go.
The actual startup process is not really that hard.
Okay.
You got to be just focused and build that brain muscle. Sit your butt down and study. That's all you got to do is just study and pass the test. There's a lot of companies out there that are very pyramid schemish.
Okay.
Very pyramid schemish that just want to make sure that you're just selling to every Tom, Dick, and Hank out there. but necessarily that's not a really good thing. You want to make sure that you find a company that you're very comfortable with, on top of they've been around for a very long time. Because a lot of companies solely love to make sure that their agents do well, and then they put a lot of training into their agents. Those are the companies you want to stick with, because if you're not with those kind of companies, your clients won't take you seriously. They're just like, oh, he's just trying to sell something. And hence why I like to tell my clients that the things that we do are not transactional. It's very custom tailored. So what I mean by custom tailored is like, you really make sure that you're doing what's best for the client. Okay, so other than, the startup, a lot of companies, there's really not no startup costs.
No, Coach, I'm not buying it, man.
There's really not
Everybody has startup costs, man. So the one thing I like that you said, because right now I'm learning something with you guys, right? So the one thing that I like that you said, again, we're gonna go back to the dividend stock, is you guys are reputable. You've been around for a long time. That's the number one thing that provides people security is brand recognition.
Brand recognition is huge,
right? So you have the brand recognition. You provide a great service, but now to become a part of the business, especially such a big brand, there's typically startup costs. So you're telling me it's minimal. It's not tens of thousands of dollars. It's not hundreds of thousands of dollars. On average, how much would you say it is to get the basic startup?
The one of the companies I choose to partner with, I know the reason I'm laughing is because really it's not that expensive to start up this business. Okay. Because if you join the right company, and mind you, there's probably a small handful of companies out there that will actually, put in their time into an agent and give them the resources to make sure that they do well. It's kind of like you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And so what I mean by that is, in terms of costs, like when I first started with the company I partnered with, I think I spent maybe $280 and they reimbursed it back to me. Yeah, it is very comical, but seriously, it was $280. I got my license and they reimbursed me right back.
Listen, I'm sorry, bro. Sounds a little Ponzi scheme-ish, right? $289. It might have gone.
Okay, it might have gone up. It might have gone up a little bit,
but you're saying not even $1,000. So so full disclosure, I'm working on getting my real estate license right now, and that's going to cost me at least $500 to $600. So you're telling me to become an entrepreneur in this space, startup cost is less than $500, and it's possibly reimbursable?
Yes. Whatever, depending on the company you choose, yes.
Okay, so how long is the training in school before you can become licensed? Is that like a year process?
Oh, become licensed to sell life insurance.
Well, just this whole process, right? So I'm assuming the $500 or the $300 is covering some part of the licensing or something. So that's what I mean. Can you just give us a quick walkthrough from start to finish? From start to finish.
So I took the interview.
Okay.
And then they're like, okay, we need to do another interview.
Wait, so they interview you before you can even do what it is you do? So it's not like, hey, I have $300. Here you go. Let me take the class. They go, well, let's interview you. Make sure you're a good fit first.
Well, so pretty much how it worked was I didn't have any of the money, right? A buddy of mine that I knew for a very long time when I used to do real estate, he's like, hey, talk to my boss. This would be a great opportunity for you to become a life insurance agent. Okay. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I went there, had the interview, and he told me to come back for the second interview. Okay. Cool. So I went to the second interview, and the guy liked me, and so I went to the third interview. Yeah, there was a third interview, but right? But I was just like, oh my God, like third interview, like maybe that means like I'm not gonna get in, because it took so long, right? Flashbacks of when I was in high school and I played basketball and I made it to the last cuts, and then they cut me. Okay. So went to the third interview, and pretty much the third interview was like I got hired, but then they were just telling me about my compensation structure. Okay. Like I never knew that this was possible. Like I never made six figures in my life, and then when I went to this third interview, they're like the possibility of making six figures is 1 to like 2 years if you put in the work. And so I was just like, wow, this is beyond like I didn't even know we could do that. You know?
So you said in 1 to 2 years,
Yes,
it was possible. Okay, but so the interview process. There's 3 interviews, right? And how long was the time in between the interviews?
Oh no, the time between the interviews was like literally within like a week and a half.
Okay.
And mind you, I think they have shortened up the process to like maybe 1 or 2 interviews now.
Okay. You have a week and a half of interviews, and then you have the hire process. And at that point, do they charge you the $300, or do they go, let's get you into training, and then we'll charge you the $300?
So no, actually, it was just like, okay, Jermaine, you need to go take the test. But the crazy thing was, they provided the study material for me. They're looking at you. They're looking at me. Said, Jermaine, you know what? We like you. Here's the study material. Go take the test. And in actuality, the test was the part that I had to pay for, and even it wasn't that expensive. And then after I passed the test, I came back, and then I started the training, and then I started working. Because when you're training and you're working at the same time.
Okay, so you 3 interviews, you're hired, go take the test, you pay for the test, then what?
I passed the test.
Okay, right, obviously, right?
I passed the test, and then I did the whole onboarding process with the company, and then obviously I had what's called like a partner, and this partner told me like, hey, okay, I need you to do this, and that. It started, and right then and there, like I had a mentor, and I started reaching out to the people I knew, and then other professionals, and started telling people what I did, and then that's how the business started running. It was really, really just straightforward. But see, the drop off is what people really don't know is, I don't know if this statistic is still alive, and it probably still is out of 100 brand new agents, the first year only 10 make it.
I mean, that's fair. That's standard. In any new business, everybody has the energy for something for the first half a mile. Yeah.
That's very true.
And then half drop off at that first mile. Once you get past that first mile, you see who really won it.
Yeah,
that, and I know that might be true in your business, but that's true in day trade, and that's true in any business owner. I mean, businesses are out of business in the first 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, not to cut you off, but like I know when my dad was in banking, my dad was in banking for like 20 years, and he would always used to tell me that like when we give out business bank account, or not bank accounts, but business credit, is like you have to show that you've been around for at least 3 years.
Yeah. Listen, so I like everything that you said so far. Now, just I don't know if you want to share full disclosure, but can you tell us how long did you go from mentorship to literally being your own business owner?
So the mentorship program with who I partnered with was about 3 years, right? Yes, I still had to check in with my boss, partner, whomever, right? But I mean, I still have the opportunity to make my own schedule.
Okay.
So after I made my own schedule, like it really felt like my own business. Even though I was still tied to this company, the first 3 years, pretty much like that's the whole purpose of it. Like, businesses take 3 years.
Get your foot
so
up
the
in.
training program was 3 years. And mind you, it was the time of my life. Roller coaster. Horrible ups, horrible downs.
Listen, man. Listen, I'm sorry I got to interrupt you.
No, it's cool. It's conversation, not an interview.
I'm listening to you. Yeah.
Right.
That's a fact. And it's information for me. So I hear you say 3 years. So I think, well, dang, did you not make any money for 3 years?
Oh, no. Actually, in actuality, like the first 3 years, because of all the extra incentives and bonuses that they give, it wasn't just straight commission. Man, like the company I worked with, they did reimbursements, training allowances. Like you really had to like suck to not make your money. Like you really had to just sit there and not want to work and complain all day.
When you say making money, so were you provided enough money to pay like your bills, or were you eating ramen? Like, was it an actual sustainable business? And did that first 3 years at any point did you want to quit? Did you go?
Oh my God! You ask any business owner, they want to quit maybe every other week, right?
Fair.
Maybe want to quit every other week. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like you have to just change your mindset. That entrepreneurial spirit that we're always talking about ever since when I had first met you. It's just like, yo, like it's either put up or shut up. Like nobody's gonna pay you a paycheck just because you're sitting on your butt.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean,
I don't think I answered your question.
No, and that's the thing, right? So, and that's what I was gonna go back to, right? So, you did answer one part because it was a 2-part question. So, yes, you did have times where you wanted to quit the business, but also when you started, right? Because I like to be as transparent as possible,
of course,
and let people know what the realistic expectation is. Right, so were you eating ramen? Were you eating hot dogs? Were you eating steak? Or were you eating chicken? You know, your first 3 years.
So, because I had a very supportive spouse.
Yes.
Very supportive spouse.
That's key.
It's super key to any huge business. If you have a spouse, the spouse has to be 100% on board.
Spouse or family. Family,
yeah, even children. Children, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, no. I was still eating normal. I was not going out there getting lobster tails and ribeye steaks and eating oysters on the half shell.
Okay.
Maybe every now and then. Yeah, because I like to eat, obviously.
I would go somewhere.
But yes, I mean it really all depends, Coach. Like you choose if you only want to have to eat hot dogs or ramen. If you get your butt to work.
Okay. So with that being said, listen, in fear of making this video much too long, we're gonna cut it here. Hit that like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't hit the like, comment, and subscribe already, I don't know what you're thinking about. We provide a lot of content, so I would really appreciate it if you hit the like, comment, and subscribe. My son tells me it's cringeworthy, but I gotta do it, right? But in fear of making this video too long, we're gonna cut it here. Maybe Coach has something else that he want to touch on lightly. But I'm going to have you back on the channel.
Yeah, and then, maybe the next time we could definitely talk about more of the ins and outs of how to start the business and be successful in the business. Okay,
so we're going to run this through. Don't worry about pausing. We're not going to edit. We're going to call this bonus features right now. Right? So I'm going to let you do that real quick.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
And then we can just go back and forth a little bit. So what was it you just spoke on?
So I mean, the fact that talking about the top ramen and the hot dogs and stuff, you literally make the choice if you want to live that way. And what I mean by that is not because you want to be frugal; it's about how much work you want to put in. Right? We can all, you know what I'm saying? Like as a business owner, it's like the biggest. Benefit was the biggest downfall. And what I mean by that was I chose to wake up whenever I wanted to. But if you choose to wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning, you done lost all that time to be working. Okay. So, at the end of the day, this is the greatest business I could ever think of. Obviously, I'm being biased because I'm in the business, but...
No, fair. How long? I'm sorry, because we didn't...
I'm in my 6th year.
6 years, right? So, on some level, it sells. Right?
It is sales.
It is sales, right?
Sales, yeah.
So do you especially in the beginning, because I know you're a pretty busy man, you have a pretty steady flow of people that you do business with, right? Mm-hmm. But in the beginning, did you have to do because I know I've been reading a lot on real estate, becoming a real estate agent, and they talk about like cold calls and door knocking a lot. Oh yeah. Did you have to do a lot of that?
Yes.
Time out. For people that don't know, cold calls are you just get like a list of numbers of people that maybe don't have life insurance or things like this. And so oftentimes you have to pay for the list, or like he said, you partner with a good company, and it's still going to cost you a minimal fee, but they provide you with a list, am I correct?
Yeah.
Of cold calls, and you just call. You're going to get hung up on a lot. Right, but okay, go ahead.
Talk. Like I thought I heard a lot of no's when I was trying to date, but when I started this business, I was like, Lord, that's a lot of no's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, fair.
And then there just comes a point where like you get too many no's, you just stop for the day.
JoJo, no.
You just stop for the day. But yes, there was a lot of that. But that's the cool thing about it was you have the opportunity to choose, like, I don't want to be a cold call person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do something different.
Nice.
Right? Imagine going to your job and they say, you do the same thing over again, and you're like, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do it some other way.
Yeah. And,
your boss will look at you, excuse me?
Can you get him, please? Get him. He's wild. JoJo, come on, man.
Killed it.
So you, and that's the big, hold on, let me say this. That's the biggest thing about entrepreneurship, right? Is you are your own boss. You are responsible for your success. Like he said, and like I know once I get in the space of owning my own business, there's gonna be times that I want to quit. Mm-hmm. There is that ability to, now once you reach the status in life that you're comfortable with, then I'm sure you will go back to waking up at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock because financially you will be free and you don't have to work so much. But that's the end goal. You can't start that from the beginning, because if you start out like that, like he said, you're only gonna be as successful as you want to be. So
like prime example is like, name a big company that you shop at before the whole pandemic thing, but that you're like, I love this store, I keep shopping here.
Coach, I'm gonna be honest, I don't do a lot of shopping.
Okay.
I shop, but I'll say just going to the mall in general. You know, I bought Nikes.
Okay, Nikes. You went to the Nike store, right?
Apple store, yeah.
You went to the Nike store, right? They're a business. Mm-hmm. So let's just say Nike one day is like, man, we had the biggest sales ever. Mm-hmm. We made $20,000 at this one store in 4 hours. Mm-hmm. Do you think Nike calls and say, hey, y'all did great that day. Y'all don't have to work tomorrow.
Or, hey, open up at 12. No, yeah.
As a business owner, you have to stay open. But the beauty of this whole business and even the entrepreneurial mindset is you work so hard, you get to hire employees to do your work.
I was just about to touch on that, right? Because you were saying, that you're your own boss for the most part, right? You partner with somebody. Have you been able to grow your business to that point where you have employees? Are you still working towards that? And what's your goal in that space? Or do you just enjoy having the freedom of making your own schedule and doing what it is you do?
I love what I do, like, to your point, create my own schedule. Mm-hmm. But and I'll be 100% honest, like, a lot of people don't really reach this level until much later, but mm-hmm. I have not reached the level where I could honestly employ a staff.
Okay.
I have a staff through the company, mm-hmm. because the great company that I work with, they give us consultants.
Okay.
So literally, like, if I have a question, these people are part of my staff, and they're mm-hmm. super knowledgeable. Okay. But in terms of hiring a staff where somebody can answer the phones or send the emails or accept the emails, place different appointments that I do, because at the end of the day, as a business owner, like, you have your craft, right? Like, let's say Coach Jay, for instance. Yeah. He's really good at his craft. Yeah. Because I won't lie, he's done work on my home too. He's done work on my home too.
Coach Jay, shout out.
Yeah, definitely shout out. But, like, let's just say, for example, like, if, a business owner can do his craft, like Coach Jay, all he does is, carpentry work all day. Yeah. But if he didn't have to worry about work orders, invoices, and stuff like that, and what have you.
You get so much more done.
You could do so much more. And same thing with me. Yeah. Like, because right now I'm still having to answer phones, invoices, and stuff like that, you know? So, yeah, at the end of the day,
you're still working.
I'm still working.
Right. So if I heard you correctly, you haven't reached your end goal.
No.
You're still working.
I'm still working.
And that's the great thing about this entrepreneurial mindset is you can have a goal and you can't think that you're going to reach the goal in year 1, year 5, or even year 6, such as him. I've been on this entrepreneurial mindset and goal, financial freedom goal, for at least 7 years now, and it hasn't stopped, and I know a lot of people look at my videos and maybe think, I'm pretty well off. People come up to me all the time and go, man, you good? Why are you still working? I'm like, a few $1,000s, even $100,000 or $200,000 is not financial freedom, and unless you really go to bed and have money literally making you money all day, you are not financially free. And I do that on what is really called a very small scale. You too.
Yeah.
We do it on what's called a very small scale. Until we're making thousands to tens of thousands of dollars in our
That's
sleep,
financially free.
that's what you call financially free.
So I don't mean to cut you off,
No, you're good.
but I literally learned this, maybe the past few years ago. But a man that was very, very much more wealthier than I am, and I'm still middle class, right? Working. Yeah. But he says, he's all, Jermaine, he's all, you've made it when you can get all those nice things that movie stars and rappers do with passive income.
Yeah.
He's all, Jermaine, if you over here buying out Ferraris and $10,000 Rolexes with your hard-earned income, you're doing it the wrong way.
That's a fact. No.
You got to buy those nice things with passive income.
No.
Just like you said about the real estate, that's a huge passive income.
Yeah.
Huge passive income. You flip a house, you put in 30 racks into a house and flip it, and you get $250,000 back. Yeah. That's a pretty good passive income.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I'm buying me a nice car after that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No. And that's again that goes back into the financial freedom, which is why I tell people, number one, don't buy things you can't afford. Understand how credit works. Learn how credit works. And just full disclosure, I'm gonna go back to the number one thing that Jermaine is known for, Coach Jermaine is known for, and his partner company is known for, is life insurance. It is so important, especially for us adults, to have life insurance. Hit the like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, I gotta say that again. But it's so important to provide that for your family. I mean, my kids are 10 and 13, and they have life insurance. And my goal is to have them outlive me by 50, 60, 70 years. But it's just like car insurance, like we said, it's in case stuff happens. Yeah. So my biggest thing is especially as an adult, as a parent, a grandparent, what you don't want to do is you don't necessarily have to, because not everybody's in the financial space to be able to provide an asset when they pass away. Mm-hmm. Even through life insurance. So it may be $50,000, $100,000, $500,000, even $1 million of life insurance isn't feasible for you. But I'm gonna say you should definitely have life insurance to at least cover the bare necessities when you pass away, because you should not leave your kids or your family with a burden. So if you could, one more time, Coach, just give out your information.
Yes, so contact me directly at area code 925-848-5220, Jermaine DeJose.
Yeah, right? I mean, because I've had that situation happen in my family quite a few times, even more so recently, just over the last 2 weeks, where we had to help bury a loved one because they didn't have life insurance. So this is something that's near and dear to my heart, something I take very serious, and something that I speak to my family about all the time, because especially us growing up in the Black and brown communities, we don't take life insurance serious. So I just want to say,
it's generational wealth. It's the great easiest way. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
The easiest way to create generational wealth, especially in minority communities, is through life insurance. And you'd be surprised how cheap life insurance really is.
Yeah.
Like if you brought your lunch maybe twice a week, you can have a very great plan.
There you go. Yeah.
Bottom line. And in work insurance don't count. You need to get insurance outside of work.
Yeah. I mean, the more the merrier, because that's the other thing.
The more the merrier, yes.
This is the bonus features, right? You can have both. You can have multiple life insurance policies, just not through the same company, correct?
Yeah, I mean, you can have multiple life insurance through the same company, but, just like you diversify your stock portfolio, diversify your life insurance portfolio too.
Oh, so I can have, but I can't have 2 term lives.
You can. There comes a point where they will check you out and be like, "Oh, how come we keep buying so many?" But let's just say you had life insurance with XYZ company for the last 10 years, but you're like, "Well, I need new life insurance, but I like this life insurance company, and I need my coverage to last longer than my previous one." Mm-hmm. You can hop on and get another life insurance with somebody else too.
No, but what I'm saying is I can't have 2 term life insurances with you.
You can.
Oh, I can still.
Yes.
So I've been at this company and I go, oh, they have better rates over here, and I like what they offer. So I'm gonna keep this one, or even if I cancel this one, I'm gonna move over here. But instead of just opening one account, I'm gonna open up 2 accounts.
You can do that.
Okay, you're gonna look suspicious, in my opinion, right? But you can do it. It's an option.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, that's nice. That's good information.
Very.
You know. So listen, again, I hope you guys enjoyed the content. This is how many minutes are we at?
50.
So this is a really long video, so I'm probably going to chop it up in a 3-part series, maybe even a 4-part series, make them about 15 to 20 minutes a piece, and that way it'll be easier to digest. I want to thank you for coming out, spending some time with me on the channel. I look forward to having you back on the channel. I appreciate all the free education to the audience. And again, if you don't listen to anything else that we said, understand that this right here is the biggest key to creating generational wealth. Okay? This is the biggest key to creating generational wealth, and don't leave your family with a burden.
Yeah.
Okay? Make sure your family is protected. So, at the bare minimum, if you don't listen to anything else we said, get life insurance. Okay? One more time, what's your number?
925-848-5220.
Like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.